Hi. Okay, welcome to tutorial 6. We started off on dimensionings in tutorial 5, so zoom, and we're going to dimension up to here. Okay, um, we'll just jump right in. We'll just go into DIM. Gets us into the dimensioning part of AutoCAD. Okay, we were going to do a horizontal dimension, so H OR for horizontal. Okay. It's asking us for the first point, so we're just going to pick on the end of that line. Second point, okay, we're going to pick the end of that line. Now it's asking us for the line location. Well, we're going to go this direction. We're just going to go 24 inches. Okay, so enter. And it's telling us enter dimension 251. Well, okay, we'll do it. And it doesn't look very good. Okay, so we need to set up some dimensionings. I'm going to escape out. No, actually I'm going to go DD. I am. Dialog box for dimensioning. And here we go. Okay, well, we're in a standard come in the box dimension. We're going to set up a new one. Okay. So we can copy standard, that's fine. We'll just call it, what are we going to call it? Let's just call it 48. Okay, don't ask me why. Okay, so continue. And okay, so our lines color by block. Okay, well, we're going to go like everything else, we're going to go by layer. Okay, and line type by block, well, by layer. Line weight, again, by layer. Okay, so baseline spacing. So I went up 24 inches between each of my baselines, and so we'll do that. Okay, instead of 3/8 of an inch, we'll go 24 inches. Okay, suppress. Dimension line 1, dimension line 2. We're going to suppress neither of them. Okay, we want both. You can see where my pointer is. Okay, these are what they're talking about here, and we want them both in. Okay, so extension lines again by layer. Okay, everything here is by layer, and then we'll have to set up a layer for our dimensions. We don't want to suppress any of those. Okay, so extension beyond dim lines, 3/16 of an inch. Well, you can see it here. That's not very much. Let's go 2 inches. Offset from original. Okay, again, let's go 2 inches. Okay. Okay. Symbols and arrows. Okay, we can use arrows. Typically architectural tick. Okay. Leader will have an arrow. So anything that points will have an arrow to it. Arrow size. Let's go something like 6 inches. Okay. Center marks. Nope. Dimension break. Break size. Nope. Okay, we'll leave all of this. Okay, until we figure out what it is. Text style. Well, we haven't set up a text style yet, so we're just going to use the standard text style. Okay, color, fraction, height, scale, text height. Okay, 3/16. Well, let's do something like 6 inches high. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing is I'm setting everything up to the way that we're drawing. Okay, our building is 20 some odd feet, and so my text height 6 inches should work in quite well. Okay, text placement, centered, that's good. What are the things? We can go above. Okay, well, let's leave it at centered and we'll change it after. Okay, view direction left to right, offset from dim line. Let's do this at 2 inches as well. Okay, align with dimension line, horizontal, text alignment. Okay, we'll leave all of that. Fit. Okay, we'll leave all of that. Primary units, well, this is where we're getting screwed up here. We want architectural, precision 8/16th, fraction format horizontal is good enough. Round off scale factor. For now, we're just going to leave it at 1. Zero suppression, we'll leave it for now. Okay, angular dimensions, we'll leave them as decimals, the same way we did in when we set up our units. Okay, alternative units, right now we don't need them. You can see how our example here in this picture showing more what we like. I wouldn't mind seeing an arrow there, but we can set it up later. Okay, and tolerances, we're just going to leave them. Okay, so click OK. Okay, and set current. Okay, close. Okay, so we're just going to UP update. Okay, enter. Select the one to do it. Well, that one right there. Okay, so those are all of the things that we set up and that we can change now that we're seeing what we've done here. Okay, so we've set this 2 inches beyond, 2 inches space in here. Okay, I'm thinking all of this stuff looks pretty big. I think I'm going to go back and change it to about 4 inches. Okay, so DDIM. Okay, and modify, because we're already in 48. Okay, my text, I have it set at 6. I think I'm going to go back down to 4. And symbols and arrows, these guys here, I'm going to set them up at about 4. Okay, dimension break. Okay, you see how the dimensions are cutting into our line? Okay, I'm going to change that. Okay, so that's how they fit. Okay, actually, okay, so on vertical, centered. Okay, I'm going to go above. Okay, horizontal, I'm going to go over extension line 1. This is different. Okay, I don't want to do centered. Let's go outside, see what difference that makes. Horizontal. Okay, well, I don't like that one, but view from left to right. Okay, close. Okay, so I don't know why this came up over top. I'm just going to press spacebar. Now that gets us into update. Well, let's try it. Update. Try this one. No. Okay, so DDIM. Okay, somehow I got to get these. Okay, modify. Vertical outside at extension line 2. Well, that's not right. Over extension line 1. Over extension. Okay, so centered. Okay, let's try that. Okay, well, for some reason that worked. Okay, textiles. I don't know if we want to get into it at this point. We'll just leave it for now. Okay, so that's a dimension. You can do all sorts of things. If I get out of dimension, I press escape and I'm out of dimension, and I stretch. Okay, and I take this and I go anywhere on the screen, and I just show AutoCAD the direction, and I just go another 24. Enter. Okay, I'm going to put another line in here. There's a number of ways of doing this. You can use O tracking. I know that O tracking is on, but I can also just draw a line from this wall to this wall, and another one. These will be construction lines. Zoom. Okay, which I'll get rid of afterwards, and then I can DIM Okay, and I can horizontal again. Okay, I can start at this point. I can go up 24, enter. Okay, whoops. Okay, let's try it again. Horizontal from this line to the center of this line, and then up 24, enter, enter. Okay, I can do continued, so I just want to continue from this dimension, C-O-N-T, for continued. Okay, so you can see it's taking me from that one to that one, enter. Now I'm just going to press enter to get back into my last command, which was continued, and I'm going to click on the end of the wall. Okay, so that's all well and fine, except these are kind of ugly dimensions for someone to build to, 4'6½". So if I stretch S and I just select everything in there, including the dimension, okay, and I can click anywhere, and I can show AutoCAD which direction, and I can say I want to go a half an inch, so 0.5 of an inch of a unit, enter. Okay, so now those are nicer dimensions to work with. I can erase. Okay, now if I go from left to right, I am only going to get the things that I encompass. Okay, whoops, I don't want that one, so I'm going to press Shift and select it. Now it's out of my selection set, and I'm going to press enter. Okay, so now that I'm out of the dim command, when I select these dimensions, they are selected as objects just like lines. I'm just going to click on this, and I'm going to bring it up to there. Click on this, bring it up to there. Okay, and zoom in, and there I go. Okay, now we're kind of, that doesn't look like 2 feet to me. So line from, let's take here to here. Okay, offset 24. This one to this one. This one to this one. Okay, so that one turned out right. These guys are not on a 24 inch, so let's stretch. Okay, select all of these dimensions. Okay, from the node of that one to the end of that, and everything stretches nicely. I'm going to erase. Okay, I'm going to get into layers. Takes a long time. There it is. Okay. It's really thinking about that. There we go. Okay, so I want a new layer. Okay, I'm going to call it dim. And I like red. Okay, where's fire engine red? We could pick this one. Okay. Okay, so we made that new layer. Remember, all our dimensions are going to read all their information off of here. Okay, so my line weights, all sorts of stuff. Okay, we can get out of here. We can select all of these guys and put them on the dim layer. There we go. Okay. Okay. We could go around this whole drawing dimensioning. Let's do a window. See what happens. Okay, so I want to put a window, whatever room this is, this little room, I'm going to put a window in the middle of it. So I'm just defining the middle. I'm just going to draw a line straight across. I'm going to offset 24. Okay, I'm going to make this offset 24. So that means that I have a 48 inches in between there. I am going to MP. Okay, and click that, click that, click that. Now they're all on the same layer, and I'm going to trim. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of that and that. Okay, that's pretty simple. We can draw a window block. Okay, so typically I have a line down the middle. Okay, you can draw this window block any way that you want. You can offset instead of 3 inches, 4 inches. Okay. Okay, so now you're sticking out an inch from the wall. and you can draw a line from there to there and there to there. Okay, so that might be a good window block. I like the center line because eventually I'll turn that into a beam. Okay, time to go. See you in tutorial 7, I guess. Thank you.